LR Active presents Tefla's Globoil India 2012.
Ladies and gentlemen, the lighting of the inaugural lamp at the hands of our chief guest, Deputy Governor of the Reserve Bank of India, Ruchi Soya, our guest of honor, Chairman Forward Markets Commission, Mr. Abhishek, our special guests, Dr. D. Balla, Joint Secretary, Department of Food and Public Distribution, Government of India, and of course, Mr. Dinesh Shahra, managing the Ruchi Group of Industries. Please welcome the Chairman, Globoil Organizing Committee, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sandeep Bajoria.
Dr. H.R. Khan, the Honorable Deputy Governor of Reserve Bank of India, Mr. Kailash Singh has already spoken quite a lot about his university days, and we are very delighted that Dr. Khan has accepted our invitation to be here with us, because RBI is in great amount of news recently, and the action from RBI is very keenly watched. Dr. Balla, Joint Secretary. Dr. Balla, thank you very much. You are great support to our industry, and as Kailash rightly said, you are a great link between us and the government, and that's the reason whatever problems we have, like child comes to mother, we come to you every time. Mr. Abhishek, Chairman Forward Markets Commission. Friends who are from abroad, I must tell you, the turnover in the Indian commodity futures have increased since last 8-9 years. It started in many-fold, and it is now at least 2 times of our GDP, and it has overtaken the stock markets if you take out the futures and option segment from stock markets. And many of the stock brokers or players who were earlier having a good time in stock markets have been only surviving because they have opened the commodity desk and they have opened the commodity futures. So that's how they are surviving. So commodities have become a big game here, and a very interesting sector to be in. Mr. Dinesh Shahra, Chairman, Ruchi Group, is a great friend and a very dynamic person. And it's not only that he does business and takes his company ahead, but he is a good singer also, and he's a man who does meditation every day. Mr. Sushil Goenka is another man whom we have with us, and who is also every morning 1 hour is reserved for meditation. So we have great amount of people who not only believe in doing good things, but how to improve your inner self. Mr. Vijay Datta, the new president of ACA, he is a very dynamic man from Rajasthan. We call him the king of Rajasthan. He is here, and Mr. Mehta and Kailash Singh. The year 2012 have reminded us of 2008 again and again. And every year, even last September when we were here for Globoil, we saw the markets were at low. Other day I was talking to some friends. I said to have a Globoil in September is a little disturbing, in the sense September seems to be the month where the markets are at lowest during the year. So when people really come to the forum, but the upbeat mood sometimes is missing because markets are not performing that well. And we saw the markets at 2850 last year in September at global time, MDEX I'm talking about. Then went up to 3628 by April. And then again with the Greece issues and Europe issues, in the May it came down to 2850 and went up to again about 3180. And today we are seeing the markets have again gone below 2700. So markets are really having a topsy-turvy ride, and the crops we have seen in US also, this time South American crops suffered, and as well as the US crops suffered. This is the first time it has happened that we had a shortfall of 32 million tons vis-a-vis last year. The central banks, the Mr. Draghi, the ECB president, and Bernanke, US Fed chairman, both of them declared that we'll buy unlimited bonds, and he got in QE3. These things helped equities, and this thing helped the bullion, and this thing helped the other asset classes, but crude and all, but it did not help the agri-commodities because agri-commodities already had run up their highs. So for agri-commodities, these things did not have any effect. The other thing here in India, we have seen the spread between the palm oil and soya oil has increased considerably, and it is something around $300 on the Olein basis and $340 on CPO basis. This relationship of spread is very funny because we think why soya is so costly, why palms will be selling so cheap, but there is no exact correlation or formula for it. And rather, people who thought that way have lost money, and people who were in soya seed and rapeseed and soya oil and other soft oil have made good amount of money this year, but people who were doing only palm have really suffered because palm was really underperforming during the year. The duty and tariffs, as Dr. Balla also knows, and recently government has revised the tariff value from frozen dessert of 484 now to 1042. That has given some cushion to our industry. Otherwise, we were really, there was a position that Indonesian olein would sell cheaper than CPO and create a great amount of problems for our refineries. So this has given some cushion to us. Next, the point is, the Malaysia, who was exporter of olein all the while, with the Indonesian government position and creating a lower duty for refined and high duty for CPO, Malaysia compulsorily had to become exporter of CPO. They have released 2 million ton extra quota for that. So Indian imports and product mix, if you really see, the imports in India, the ratio between soft oil and palm oil is 25 to 75 in first 10 months of this year. And the ratio in the crude and refined has been about 14% to 84%. The exchange rate has become very important thing. The RBI is really very important here as well. The Indian importers had a really bad time when the rupee went down from 44.50 in August to 57, and it was a nightmarish time because people were not covered and they were doing on use on LCs. But right now, some relief we are seeing, great amount of relief we are seeing yesterday, that rupee has closed 53.46, and that is really making, as I said, commodity prices are down, but because rupee is up, people are smiling somehow. So this is very important thing which has happened. And Indian government, if you really see, we had a lot of the overseas people and our Indian people have heard a lot of issues coming in, then some scams coming in, and there was some kind of policy paralysis, and India's GDP growth had come down from 8.9% to 5.5%, and everybody was feeling disillusioned with India's story. But I must say, with a lot of guts, our Prime Minister in last 10 days has shown the resolve, and he has said, we will take the reforms measure, and even if we have to go down, we will go down fighting. So that's the right kind of animal spirit which he talked about, and he has unleashed in the economy, and he has got into the increase in the diesel prices, he got into the FDI in aviation, FDI in retail, some public sector disinvestment he announced, and a lot of other reforms are coming in now. And today morning papers, if you've read, he has described in last night's telecast to the nation that if you do not take the steps to reforms now, our country will suffer like many of the European economies, or we will have the same fate as 1991. So there is no choice, we have to go with the reforms, and we will go with the reforms. And that's the right spirit he has shown, and we saw the effect. The Sensex went up 400 points yesterday. It is 18,800, the highest Sensex of 2012 now, and rupee is also 53.46. So with this kind of a situation, in last 10 days at least from macro front, we are very happy in this country. And but jokingly, it is always said that India's GDP and growth, if inefficient government is there, the GDP will grow by 4 to 5%. If efficient government is there, GDP will grow by 8.59%. But if there is no government, India will grow at 10%. Thank you.
Up next is a gentleman who needs no introduction to only few in this industry. With foresight and wisdom, he's managed to change his company's fortunes and place it amongst the top in the world. Without further ado, please welcome the Managing Director of Ruchi Soya Industries Limited.
Yes, and Mr. Kailash Singh. Very good morning to all of you. The world is becoming an increasingly complex equation with constantly evolving production and consumption pattern. Every September, every year, we gather here and collectively aim to derive some direction to the market and to the industry. This year is not just special because of the 15th year of Globoil, but because of the unique situation we are facing worldwide due to abnormal weather patterns and fluctuating government policy and mandates. On one hand, by Feb 2013, the US soybean stocks may fall to 25 million tons, one of the lowest level in several years. On the other hand, the Indian soybean crop was initially touted to be a disaster due to insufficient rainfall and pervasive drought. However, the heavens opened their gates and heard the farmer's prayer. And now the domestic soybean crop is likely to be highest ever. This season, Indian production is likely to be somewhere for soybean between 10.5 to 11 million tons. Consequently, Indian farmers are going to get extremely well paid given the current prices of beans. The crushing industry should look forward to a very promising season ahead and high percentage of capacity utilization. For the first time in many years, world production of oil will decline simultaneously in the first half of the season. The lower than normal soybean production in the world, two major countries and exporters, USA and South America, has led to the shortfall in the availability of soybean meal worldwide. A great concern, therefore, lies in the protein sector because of oil meal stocks are insufficient to cushion the shortfall of production. Oil meal prices therefore have strengthened significantly under the lead of soybean meal, reaching all-time highs at the end of August, early September. Indian soybean meal prices, in particular, have more than doubled compared to the levels a year ago due to very tight old crop supplies. India will remain competitive in the world market, and export of oil meals and in particular soybean meal will be higher during the year 12 and 13 relative to the last year. This is further good news for the domestic crushers as Indian soy proteins will be highly sought after. A higher domestic production this year will definitely affect the vegetable oil imports in India. However, Indian groundnut and cottonseed crop is lower than the last year, and this shortfall in oil will have to be met by import of more palm oils in India. Palm oil supply is abundant, and due to the wide discount with bean oil, it will be attractive as a substitute oil. It will also cover the incremental demand in India as a result of higher per capita consumption. Palm oil will definitely be a threat to bean oil prices, particularly in India, as there is too much oil in India and in nearby. So to the palm oil plantation companies in the crowd, be cheerful. India will be your best customer this year. Consequently, at Ruchi Soya, we believe that palm is going to be the next major step and it will gain market share not only in India but also in other developing countries. That's why we have actively been working on securing our raw material supplies from producing countries. Our palm oil brand, Ruchi Gold, continues to be India's single largest selling cooking oil brand. Customer-oriented product innovations, emphasis on health and nutrition, and a firm commitment to superior quality will remain crucial to be competitive. Finally, I would like to draw your attention to the potential game changer that could hit the global vegetable oil market in next few months. The South American weather god now holds the key. The storm will hit all of us if there is any adverse condition in South America. The world is ill-equipped to deal with a bean shortage of that extent. And I would advise everyone here to be aware about this possibility. And therefore, place utmost importance on the risk and volatility management. Awareness and preparation can pay for riding any storm. Since Mumbai is celebrating Ganpati festival, at this juncture, Lord Ganesha is known to be the god of knowledge and wisdom. I wish he will bestow his blessing on all of us and enrich our lives in every possible manner. That said, I wish everyone a friendly market and best of luck for the current year. Thank you very much.